Hello viewers and subscribers, welcome once again, the continuation of the previous screencast. Last screencast I already discussed about the complete DevOps processes, meaning how can you DevOps with the proper integration or proper approach. Those are new into the my channels, please follow the previous screencast. I discussed all the issues about the DevOps culture, and I already did some really professionals example with the complete DevOps cultures. Just follow that one. So this is the DevOps culture, DevOps workflow, how it is works, and then this is the different migration tools that I already talked about. Just go to my channel, look for the proper migration tools, the possibility with the Flyway liquid that's we did discuss, and the different deployment processes, jar based deployments, and Docker Compose based deployment, and Docker Kubernetes based deployments. And also this is the last screencast that I am today continuing the REST APIs documentation. As you already know, there is a now is a microservice based application world. So every applications like if you think about one Amazon or Facebook or Google pages, there is a one single page calling maybe 5 or 6 or 10 microservices to build a single page. And that's why it is required nowadays. It is really required to properly document the microservices, and that's why I try to give it to you the really one practicals and professionals experiences how the industry or companies are looking for the proper documentations for your microservices. So, and then documentation means you have a Java documentations, and also you have a REST service documentation in the browser level. So that means if you have a documentation with the testings, so that means you build some REST APIs for different purposes, for documentations, for invoices, for payments, or for administrative purpose or registration process. You build the REST APIs and you build the proper documentations, and then automatically build this proper documentation and send to this documentation for the other teams, like the testing teams, and they will test your APIs. And then or the web development teams will see how the REST API input output, that means all the input parameters and output parameters, and the request response, and then complete URL of your REST APIs. That's I already talked about. And then with the last screencast was based on the Swagger 2 UI, Swagger 2 based implementations, and today I try to implement the same functionalities. How can you migrate, or how can you integrate the OpenAPI 3, that means Swagger 3 specifications. So let's continue how the comparison between the Swagger 2 and Swagger 3, or means OpenAPI 3, how you can properly or automatically generate documentation for your APIs, and then I will show you details. So if you see these pictures, like in my previous screencast, it was only the Swagger 2 based, and you see the version number is here. So Swagger 2 based implementation, I already discussed about how can make such a documentation with the Swagger 2 configurations and so on and so forth. I already discussed about this one previous screencast. Today what I am continuing, how can you do the same functionalities, same REST API with the Swagger 3, that means OpenAPI's 3 versions. And you see, I will try to do from the very beginning stage to the implementation stage. That's my intention today. So the previous screencast, I will compare with the Swagger 2 with the Swagger 3. So if you go to the web pages, that I have it in already running the applications in the Swagger 2. If you see exactly the same Swagger 2 versions is here. So is application, user registration, REST APIs, and some levels and blah informations, and you can show and hide, and all the functionalities is there with the Swagger 2. So you can do all the operations. You can expand all the functionalities, or individually you can expand these functionalities, expand and see all the required parameters and the respective models. I think so. There is a models, and then this is a different structure how it is done. So the models for the Swagger tree is different. I will what we did what we try to do there. So that means we use all the two functionalities, and we need to transform configure the API tree as well as tree, and then we see all the presentations, the presentation, whatever how the tree works, for the Swagger tree. So it has application for the so it's a different UI. It looks like that UI. It has all the functionality, also some control selection, more control. Works and how it is done, just like basic understanding how it is works, and then so you see that this is the role service definition. It says some level, and the user role. It's only one controller definition on the endpoint definition to create the user roles. So and it has more functions. That it has schemas. You see the different way how the Swagger UI 2 handles this schema. There is no schema information, but you can see the schema information, the models. But the Swagger UI 3 cases, it has the schema definitions, and see the schema definition exactly the user role definition as per your ORM but domain models. So you see the user registration models, user profile models, and then user detail models, and then see that everything is properly working. And the pageable objects and the sortable objects and user role, page user role, and then you page user role registration objects. So it's really properly documented, and then everybody, your testing teams, even though into your web development teams, can look for the schemas, and then they will transform the Java object, the schema object, into the different languages, maybe TypeScript or Angulars or other languages. They can simply transform the object into the different objects that what they need it. Just simply copied it and pasted it and transform the object, Java object, to the maybe node type object or TypeScript objects, or it doesn't matter how they. If you build your front end with Java technologies, just you need to be simple.